Good morning. Today is March 25th, 2017. This is NBC News, live from Indiana. Today we look back to when a man by the name of Wilfred Voynich discovered a mysterious set of texts in Italy. According to Mass Ultra School Edition, the scripts were discovered in the 1900s, but the irony of these mysterious texts is that they are undecipherable based on modern language. Studies are being done to compare these scripts to various different languages, but the manuscripts continue to be a mystery. The questions still remain. Who wrote these manuscripts? Why did the translation mean so much to philologists? If the texts are decipherable, what would they most likely mean? And if the texts were a hoax, why would someone spend so much time writing them? Authorities continue to investigate the details of this case. We will take you to the crime scene, where we will talk to the chief of police. What evidence or leads do you have that would lead to any sort of conclusion?
We are unsure of the origin in which the Voynich manuscripts were discovered, given that Wilfred Voynich will not reveal where he has discovered them. But we know if the texts were discovered, then they would be found in Italy. One of our theories would put the creation of the scripts in Wilfred Voynich's hand, meaning that the scripts were not as old as they were originally thought to be. We hope to persuade Yale University into allowing us to perform a carbon-based test on the books. This will allow us to know the time frame, therefore we could eliminate theories that are not related to that time.
Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. We're back with the interview, where we will discuss the theories of this case. Thank you for joining us. So tell me, what theories contribute to this case? In the manuscripts, there were plants that appeared to be sunflowers. An article published by Alternate Field Crops Manual states that sunflowers were not brought back to Europe until after Columbus's expedition. This was disproved because Columbus didn't bring sunflowers back until around the 1500s, and according to a documentary by Seeking Discovery, sunflowers were brought back to Europe around the mid-1400s. The paper has been confirmed by csicop.org to be from the 1500s, but because the ink has not been tested, there is no way of knowing it was not rewritten using paper from the time period. It seems unlikely that the paper would last for 400 years, but this book is rather a rare phenomenon. Through letters passed through this time period, the books have been traced back to John Dee and Edward Kelly. These letters, though, could be strategically placed in order to support a theory. According to Seeking Discovery, these men were con artists looking for money. Kelly and Edward believed they could talk to angels, and they would record their conversations by somewhat describing the sounds they've heard. Perhaps they made up a language to represent the angels' words. But what would be their motive for such a mysterious text? If no one could understand the encrypted code, then what good would it have done to speak to these angels? Well, it is thought that they could have been hoping to scam the king into giving them money for these texts. In that case, Kelly and Dee could have made up whatever they wanted to translate the texts and make the information seem extremely valuable. Sure seems like a lot of work for no reward. It definitely does, especially given that AbeBooks.com states that it seems highly unlikely for the two men to have written the text because it was beside their character to dedicate so much time into one piece of work. Based on the information provided by the interviewee, we have concluded that the origin of the text has come from either Wilfred Voynich himself or Dee and Edward Kelly. I personally believe it was in fact Wilfred Voynich who wrote these manuscripts because his shady character implies he has the ability to pull off such a large-scale crime, and the time he spent in a library full of similar manuscripts would give him time to create a language that seemed realistic. He also had a motive for the money which he potentially could have collected from the books for a Russian Protestant group. That'll do it for us, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great morning.